I love how they like
So
messed about with all that as well, because that's like in that time it could have just gone like for those people who don't really know what the appendix is like when it goes. When it goes, that's it. It's like exploding and it's an absolute mess in there when it goes because it's not like this little pop. It does big pop and causes quite a lot of mess. So I'm surprised they would mess it around for so long. Especially one of them's like, let's get him down. The other one's like, nah, let's let him suffer.
I mean, I get it. So it's to do with my age because obviously your appendix usually goes between. So I've looked at usually the appendix goes between the age of 10 and 30, and then it's very rare that it goes after that. So like after that point, usually you're fine with it. So obviously I'm a little bit older. It's only a little bit. So they were just wanted to be sure in it. So they did that. Prepped me for surgery. Took me into surgery and.
Welcome to The Not Like Us, the podcast where bold ideas and inspiring stories come to life. I'm your host Aaron, here to challenge the norms and ignite your potential. If you're ready to level up, don't forget to subscribe and join the movement. Now, let's dive in.
Gosh.
Right, we are live, my friend. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Taking over, it's just about.
Yeah. So tell us about your week. Your week's been mental. You've had a bit of a week of it. To be fair, which is normally like, I'm the one who has a bit of a mess, and you're the one that kind of picks the pieces up. But this week it's you that's in the actual mess.
Yeah, I mean I'm all right now. I had a bit of a run, bit of a to do with my appendix, bit of a scrap. The guy wanted to go a few rounds, and man nearly took me out. So what can he do?
I don't even know.
What can you do in it?
The sheer pain. I can't even imagine what it'd be like. Cause I'm told it's like one of the most excruciating things in the world when that goes. But like, obviously, it's not actually a pointless organ. So yeah, it's
it's a nice feeling when it's playing up. Can give you that credit. It is a nice feeling. So for me, it started the day before. I felt like I was supposed to go to a wedding, which I went to the Friday night and then Sunday the ceremony and the reception. And I was just feeling like really, really off, really sick, and like just not good. I wasn't actually in pain, but I just felt like I'd got a bug or something. You know what I mean? And then the following day, 5 a.m., I woke up in pain and then throwing up and just like not in a good way. So I lasted it out until about 11 a.m. trying to soldier on, push through and all that. And it got pretty bad then. So I could barely like stand up or anything. Like partly because of the pain, but like a lot of it is because like I was so just like not with it, like dizzy and nauseous and stuff. I couldn't keep anything down. So whenever I had a drink of anything, or like, well, I didn't even try to eat anything, but whenever I had a drink of anything, I just threw it back up immediately. So like proper throwing up as well. And I haven't thrown up for years. I think it's like broken an 18-year streak of not throwing up.
Christ,
so
that's
So when I started doing that, I thought something's probably not right here. So I didn't want to like overkill it and like just go down the doctors and be one of those. You know what I mean? So I went on the 111. Like they got like an app.
Yeah.
I just put my symptoms in, and then it came up, go to urgent care immediately. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So I had to crawl down the stairs because. Yeah, I had to crawl down the stairs because I couldn't walk properly, and then like just dragged myself to the car. And then how I managed to drive from here I went to the 8 the urgent care. I have no idea. And that's the quickest I've ever been seen in there. They literally dragged me straight through to the back. And then just did the test, whatever. I threw up some more in there just for bants. And then they referred me straight for a surgical consult, sent me to hospital. So then I had to drive myself to hospital, which is nice. But after I'd been seen in 8 and they faffed around with it a bit and like hit me in it a bit and just made sure the pain was nice, it actually started to ease off a bit, which is common apparently when it starts to like leak and starts to rupture. So I went down surgical consult in the hospital. They took about 4 million litres of blood or whatever they do, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're going to do it today." So Yeah, so they took me down.
That's a day, isn't it? It's a day.
Yeah, it was a good day, and they were quick, to be fair, because they were messed about. They didn't want it to like fully rupture because then it becomes an even bigger op. So they sent me for a CT scan first, just because the doctor, like the surgical consultant that came around, he was like, if it was me, I'd just take you in now and I'd do it right now. But he's not. He's just like doing the consulting. He's not doing the operations that day. So he called his like colleague, or whatever, and his colleague was like, "No, I want to confirm it. I want a CT scan because, like, in case it's something else or worse." So ended up going for a CT scan, and they put the dye in you, like the radioactive dye.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know if you ever had a CT scan, but when you go through, it like gives you that warm feeling over you. And I didn't mind that bit, but then at a certain point, I don't know if it like hit my appendix or something or what, but it just made me I was just retching in the CT scan, just retching, like thinking I'm going to vomit all over myself. But fortunately, I didn't. Got away with it. Climbed out of there, got taken to a ward, and as soon as I was on the ward, they were stripping me off, chucking me in a gown, and prepping me for theatre.
I love how they like messing about with all that as well, because that's like in that time it could have just gone like for those people who don't really know what the appendix is like when it goes. When it goes, that's it. It's like exploding, and it's an absolute mess in there when it goes, because it's not like this little pop. It does a big pop and causes quite a lot of mess. So I'm surprised they would mess it around for so long, especially one of them's like, let's get him down. Everyone's like, nah, let's let him suffer.
I mean, I get it. So it's to do with my age, because obviously your appendix usually goes between, so I've looked it up, usually the appendix goes between the age of 10 and 30. And then it's very rare that it goes after that. So like after that point, usually you're fine with it. So obviously I'm a little bit older. It's only a little bit. So they were just wanting to be sure in it. So they did that, prepped me for surgery, took me into surgery, and honestly, they wheeled me into surgery, and there was like hundreds of people in there. I was like, what's going on here? What's all these people here for? So had a lot of spectators.
That's a shambles. I mean, like to get it at your age, your big age, is it's almost embarrassing at your age. It's like it's gone. Oh, maybe I'll just follow the mental age rather than the physical age and just like pop now, because like trying to catch up still.
Yeah, it'll never get me. But anyway, they managed to do it with keyhole at the end. Managed to do it with keyhole at the end. So that was good, because they did say obviously if it was like, so it just started to rupture at the bottom, but they caught it in time, so they didn't have to like cut me open and clean me out and all that horrible stuff that they have to do otherwise. Because that becomes like the recovery just becomes a lot bigger than that as well, because they have to cut through your stomach lining and stuff. So like when it's just 3 little holes, you can kind of recover from that.
It's a shambles. That's a hell of a week, to be fair, isn't it? Like, 'cause that's not the sort of weekend you plan for.
Oh no, it definitely wasn't planned, and yeah, and I've been like walking like I've shit myself since. So, I mean, I'm only really moving about well, I say properly, but moving about gingerly today. I've done like I was walking down the stairs the other day. I think it was only yesterday or the day before. I walked down the stairs and I'd be out of breath. That'd be me, like I need to lie down, falling apart.
It's slightly different to the usual, to be fair. You know, we get up 2 sets of stairs and you're done.
Yeah, yeah. Cardio's not my strong point. What can I do?
Yeah, I mean, how did the wedding go then? Anyway, did your other half go? Kids go, or did they just kind of like sack it off just on the off chance that you decided to like just blow up and incinerate?
No, only I know him. So it's Jazzy. So they've never met him. They don't know him. So it was only me.
Christ, imagine missing that. That's it. Like most people just go, thanks for the invite, but I don't want to come. Your body's gone. Nah, let's revolt because we don't want to go to this. I was going to blow up instead, which is just.
I would have gone. I would have loved it. I would have loved it. So I went to a Sikh wedding last month, and you know, I absolutely love them. Like I think they're the best events. They're brilliant. But yeah, I just wasn't up to it. So I'm glad I didn't go, because I think it would have just accelerated my demise, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been you know, like overly. Obviously, I don't really know how the day goes, sort of events as much. But I can't imagine they would be too happy with you just throwing up all over the joint whilst they're trying to have their special day.
Nah, I don't think they wanted that. Nobody wanted that. I didn't even want that. So,
That's but it's very traumatic of you, I must say, because like Yeah, I mean that's just like it's a very quick thing, isn't it? Like you get ruptured appendix and then it's either operated on or explodes. It's not like a long term thing. It literally goes hello, goodbye, pretty quick.
Yeah, it just came on quick, and then it was like before you know it, I was on the table, and I was like, oh, didn't really want this today. Did not fancy it at all. I just wanted to just chill out, man.
Shambles. I did admit, when I saw the photo of you, obviously you sent the one, and obviously the guys listening and watching wouldn't have seen it, but the picture you sent me of just of you on the hospital bed, and you're like obviously clearly fresh off the op, and like clearly looking like you're up in space on the morphine and whatnot that they give you, and all the gas in there and all that. And I just laughed because I didn't know what else to say, and it's like one of them really where like you probably shouldn't laugh because ultimately like that could like appendix blown up can be quite serious. It can like seriously injure, kill people. But I just saw it and I was like, lol. Like, just why not? Like, it was.
It was funny, to be fair. What can you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you say, just like the age and everything. Like that's the first thing pretty much everyone said at work. That I'm kind of like, oh, where is he? And I was like, oh, he's sick. And they're like, oh, why is he sick? I was like, appendix blew up. And they're like, his age. It's just like the first thing people said.
It's because I keep my body fresh, man. You know what I mean? Look after it.
Yeah, body's a temple and all that until your organs blow up.
Yeah, I think it's a genetic thing. So my gran's had her appendix out, and she was like late 30s, early 40s. And my cousin had his done last year, and he's past the age as well. He's in his 30s, so maybe it's a genetic thing.
Yeah, maybe just like aging slower, so you'll just last until like you're 105, maybe.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I mean, that's a dramatic week because, like I say, normally your life's fairly more chill than that, and then that is literally just one and done. What's the time frame for recovery? Because obviously, I know they normally say it's a couple of weeks, but some people take longer. What are you saying for being back in the gym and back at work and all that shit? What's that looking like?
Well, they signed me off for 2 weeks anyway, so I'm off for 2 weeks to recover, and they reckon I'll be recovered in 2 weeks from like the surgery and everything else. But like I think they were saying like before you're like back to where you were like 2 months really, before you're like back physically where you were at. Because obviously they've punctured, so I've got 3 holes, one in my belly button, like just below my belly button, one on my left side right in there, and one down just above my junk, where they went in with all the equipment to do the keyhole surgery. And obviously if I go back to lifting really heavy, then I'm at risk of hernias and stuff like that. So I need to
crack your works.
Need to ease into it and take it slowly. But yeah, cool little holes, like little bullet holes. So it's nice.
Yeah, moving like a bowling ball.
I can tell somebody's been rummaging around. Yeah, I can tell somebody's been rummaging around in it though. Doesn't feel good.
That's disgusting, like that. Yeah. I mean, I remember having it for my knee, and they did keyhole for the knee when I did my ACL, and even that afterwards felt like funky. It was just my knee, whereas this is like your actual like the core of your body having like I can't imagine that's
So I don't know if
it doesn't sound like the one.
It's not ideal. I mean, I don't know if you've seen what they do with it. Like they pump gas into there as well to give them room to move. To like, because obviously it's a pressurized area, isn't it? So they're like they have to pump CO2 in there and stuff to like give themselves room. So I came out as like bloated, like in Michelin Man coming out there. But I mean, they let most of it out, but like you still like it takes a while to get back to normal with the swelling and everything else.
That is a hell of an
they go through the belly button, right, with the camera and stuff, and they check it. And they go from the side and from above my junk to like clamp it, and then they stitch the bottom of it and then snip it, and then they drag it out through your belly button. Basically what they do. Yeah. And then like clean up that they need to do. And then obviously
I assume it's under like general obs, like general anaesthetic. You're not like awake for this, are you?
Oh no, they pass you out. It's classed as a major surgery because they're inside your torso. So anything in there is classed as major surgery because like shit can go wrong, I suppose.
Yeah, but imagine just like being like if you were awake for it and then it's like pumping you up and like you just got 3 hours. You feel like what is going on? You're looking down like lads, stop.
Yeah, no. So they put you on the table and then they stick a load of morphine. I assume it's morphine, but like painkiller in you. And then they knock you out, don't they? And then they manage your airway and the like what they call them? Anesthesists?
Anesthetic. Yeah,
I don't
something
know.
like that.
We're too dumb to know. But they're in there, and they managed like the whole thing. But they did catch my throat with they put the tube down. So I was out cold, but they've caught my throat. So I've got this dangly bit in the back of my throat now that just like of skin I can't get rid of, and that's the worst bit. Doesn't hurt, but back of my throat is a bit sore, not like pain, but that dangly bit is the worst bit, mate. I just can't. It'll take ages to go. So
yeah, that's not nice. I had that with mine because like, when I was under general last time, they've like obviously rammed the tube down my throat, which is really nice because they just don't do it delicately. And then when I woke up, they brought me round. I was like awake and chatting and drinking away and whatnot because I had a really sore throat. And it turns out they hadn't when they woke me up, my bladder hadn't woken up. So I was just drinking loads of water, and then like just had like the fattest stomach. And I just couldn't pee. Like no matter what they did, like put me on my side, got me up and stuff. Obviously, I had my knee operated on. I couldn't move very far. So in the end, they had me like laying on my front. Like the nurse was just like pushing down on me. And I was like, "This is the worst, man." I'm not a big fan of operations because that. I mean, that was terrifying. But like, I came
around pretty quick. I came around pretty quick, to be fair. I just had a numb lip there, so I guess that's where there's pressure on it from like something from like the mask or whatever. But I just like numb lip there for ages. But after that, I was fine. Came around pretty quick, sorted my life out, and then yeah, pretty good. Like all things considered, I'm in pretty good shape for it. So
yeah, I mean, I expect it to be like on your ass for ages. To be fair, like the fact that you sit up and get around is alright. To be fair, because like some people like literally it's done for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it did wipe me out a bit, like, and I still get like a bit fuzzy headed and everything else, and just like sitting up for like a long period of time hurts and stuff. But like generally, I'm just trying to keep moving as much as I can and do more every day, just because I want to recover. I don't want to be like this. It just drives me insane being like this. So I want to be doing something.
Yeah, imagine needing like extra holiday off work and just like making your appendix blow up. It's crafty, to be fair. Like that extra annual leave in the summer, the weather's just like the nice part of summer is just about to come to an end.
No, I can confirm it's not the one. It is not the one.
Yeah,
would not recommend.
Less dramatic.
Yeah, would not recommend.
What
yeah,
what a nightmare. Well, I assume, considering you've been laying down, not doing much, you've managed to catch most of the football over the weekend.
Yeah, I've seen bits of it. I've seen my boys, of course. Seen my boys.
Yeah, obviously
Ilkay is back.
They've obviously made that signing of Gundogan, which is obviously huge, isn't it? Yeah, huge signing.
That's a big signing. And Kovacic got injured in the game as well, so that's actually perfect timing. So he'd probably get a run now.
You can't ask much more, really, can you? Because like, I mean, you can't ask much more, really, can you? Like Gundogan coming back, like, is there a better player, really? Like, could you have picked someone better? Like, I don't think there's anyone that does the 9, 10, 8 job kind of as good as him, really.
He's a great signing just because he's not going to take any time to get back up to speed. He knows the system, he knows the players, he knows the manager, he knows the club. Like, he's just going to settle in like that, and he's just going to be back at it. So, I think it's a perfect signing, and we managed to get him back for free. So,
yeah, I mean, you've done a magic. Did you actually get a fee for him when you sold him, or did he just get released in the contract currently?
No, he went free. Yeah, end of contract. So it didn't cost us to get rid of him, but we didn't get nothing either.
It's an ideal signing, isn't it? Like you say, he knows everything about the club. He knows Pep. He knows how it works. Like you generally probably could have hit the better signing, really. And he's still he's not done either, is he? He's still in decent nick. Like,
yeah, he's perfect for us. Perfect. I think he'll really add to what we've already got. And especially, I think he'll be a bit of that missing piece that we didn't have last year. Because he can, like last year, without KDB for a good while, and normally when we're without him, Gundogan kind of steps up and does that a lot. A lot of what he does, he gets good goals and stuff like that. So
yeah, definitely.
I think he adds to the equation, and yeah, Savinho's adding to it as well. So he's looking good at the minute.
Fired, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks really good. So he's it's quite exciting at the minute with City and what they're doing. So I think they'll play slightly differently again.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw Mahrez's tweet. I don't know if you can pull it up on here, but Mahrez obviously is captioned on his Twitter. He's tweeted about Savinho. So I think you guys put out a video. Obviously, I think he's wearing 26 as well, like Mahrez did. If I might be wrong, but I think he is. And or whatever number Mahrez is wearing, I think they're wearing the same. And Mahrez is like captioned the tweet, and he's like, "I've seen this before," and like it literally like the way he moves and the way he plays and like the aggression and stuff like that, and kind of the way like Mahrez is just taking you on it. He didn't care if you were like best fullback in the world or some League Two when he's going at you the same way, like almost like fearless, like you need to get the ball off me, come to me. He doesn't like fanny around with it. He just takes people on. Like he's so direct, and for a guy who's not blessed with pace and strength, he's so direct. And Savinho is literally the same as that. Like you say, it's been so exciting and whipping crosses as well, which is like something that you've never seen a Pep winger do is whip a cross in. But this guy is
but they've been doing it with both of them. That's what I mean. Like, Pep evolves every year, and I think he's evolved again. I think this year they're going to be putting more crosses in the box. I think he's been playing right-sided winger on the right side and left-sided winger, left-footed winger on the left side, which he doesn't normally do. He normally does the cutting in, and he seems to be playing that now and getting balls in the box. So like he just evolves all the time, and everybody's always 2 steps behind him. So we'll see what the season brings.
Yeah, I like this Savinho. I think he's. I think everyone thought he's going to be like that kind of a bit part player, and I think he's going to end up having more minutes than what Pep had even intended. To be fair, but he looks like he's ready to go, which is different for a City winger, because normally wingers for you guys take a season to get up to speed. Like Alvarez obviously a season to get going. Doku was in and out. Grealish obviously been a bit hit and miss.
It's not even the wingers. It's all the players take a while to get into the system. Really, it's a new thing for them, and it takes them a while to get into it usually. But he's just learned it so quick, and he's looked devastating, to be fair. So
yeah, I think he's gonna be a hassle for a lot of the players, and a lot of the fullbacks in the league are going to struggle. I think with him, so I think he's so different to like most wingers now are kind of like the same. It's get it out wide, get down the line, cut it back, whereas Savinho is like. He's kind of either come in for an early cross or take you to the byline and beat you. Like he's got quite a lot of quite expansiveness to his game. Whereas a lot of wingers at the moment now they're all kind of cut from the same cloth. You don't really get many explosive wingers that'll take people on anymore. Kind of, especially in the higher team, because it's all like possession based football and kind of like anti crossing and anti kind of wingers. You don't really get like a Ryan Giggs or a Beckham anymore. So I'll just run a line, ping it in early, and find a striker.
Yeah. Fair one. I think the players we got, they wouldn't rush to add anybody in. They won't force anything City. They have been looking at that. Is it Kyogo from Celtic? Is that what his name is? But him as like an Alvarez replacement, to be fair, almost. But I think we always like this. Like City very rarely make huge signings. They're very, very clever in the market. They wait for their man and they get the one that they want. They don't rush anything.
Yeah, I think it's a shame that Dani Olmo has gone over to Barcelona because he's not been registered yet. And I was looking forward to the prospect of seeing him in that Pep team, especially with Bernardo Silva looking a little bit less productive this year. The games I've seen him play, like even the other day, he's obviously won 4-1 and he's got literally nothing at all in terms of tackles, passes. Like literally, he's made a few passes and he's not been involved in anything. So I thought, Dani Olmo will come in, take that role, and kind of kick on, and Bernardo will kind of just go off to Saudi at some point. But obviously, he's gone to Barcelona. They've not registered him because they're in absolute financial shambles. I'm not really sure how that's worked out, but like I said, I don't think City will add anything. I don't think you need to now, really.
That's one of the ways we got Gundo, isn't it? That's why they got rid of him to clear the wage bill, which is madness from them. I think City are good enough. Like, I mean, they'll build on what they did last year. They've got them 2 additions in Savinho and Gundo, and Rico Lewis will play more this year, which will be better for us.
Yeah, I was impressed with
Kyle Walker's struggling.
He's looked good. Yeah, it's a weird one, Carl, because obviously he's been back in training for a while, hasn't he? But he seems to be obviously been on the bench for the 2 games anyway. I don't know if he's struggling with fitness, too many games last season. He's club captain, isn't he? So.
Yeah, they like him. I mean, we have a leadership group, don't we? We have like 5, essentially, that we run, and he's the club captain, so he's the main one. But I don't know. Rico's just better than him. So what are you going to do? Yeah, he offers more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he does. He offers
he offers a lot more.
Walker's got the pace. He's got the knowledge and all that stuff. But Rico's just young and he's fire. He can be in midfield. He can play with the ball at his feet. Like Walker's very one dimensional. He's just up and down, up and down, up and down, isn't he? So whereas Rico's can he can come into that midfield. He can be almost like that Cancelo role of coming into midfield, drifting in, making like a 4v3 of the midfield, and that's how City dominate teams so well.
Yeah, I think Rico's so good in the ball. He'll play a lot this year. I think. Still got Foden to come back in as well because he's ill. Grealish will have some sort of part to play in the season. So we've got a lot of quality there, to be fair.
What's
we'll
the
see.
situation with Cancelo? Because obviously I just mentioned him there, but has he
gone?
Moved
He's gone to. Yeah, he's gone Saudi, hasn't he?
Oh, is it done? Is it? That's a shame.
Double check, but
a player of his quality.
Yeah, I'm sure
playing week in week out. Really, wouldn't you in a decent league rather than over in Saudi? It's a bit of a waste. I mean, he's going to be 31 now, and he's 31 years old. But even so, he can still do a job especially in the City team. Obviously, he won't now because he's fell out of Pep, but he could do a job in any other team in the Prem or pretty much any team in Europe. Really, it's a shame to see him go out.
Yeah, but you say that, but then he's gone to Bayern, and they've not been interested in him. They've fallen out with him. And then he's gone to Barca, and they're not interested in his nonsense either. So if it was just one place, then fair enough. But that's 3 big clubs now that he's not fit in.
Yeah, true. It's
so
a shame.
There's obviously some sort of issue with his attitude.
Yeah, it's a shame when players do that when they kind of fall off like that.
Yeah, they get too big for him. I think he had a couple of good seasons, and then he thought he was bigger than he was. Took the number 7 shirt at City, and then just thought he was the big time, but he's not the big time, unfortunately. No. And other people have come in and filled that role, haven't they?
Yeah, literally, it was seamless really when at the transition between him and kind of moving on to Gavido and kind of Akanji, Lewis. They've all kind of just gone, straight in, straight out, sort of thing. Not a problem.
Yeah. So I think he thought he was a bit special, and then all these other players have come in and done the same, if not better, and now he's left out in the cold.
Fair enough. I mean, moving down the table a little bit, another team that I'll probably, if I was to say a team I'm most excited about this season, obviously we spoke about our kind of standouts for the season and stuff like that, and we said Brighton probably won't get back up there again, but Brighton are looking like a team much more closer to what we saw from De Zerbi the season before last, and they've made some signings this week. So they've got that lad coming in for Fenerbahce, who's a hell of a player. Matty O'Reilly, for those who watch the SPL and watch the Celtics, there'll be a few out there. He is a serious footballer, and I think he's going to be extremely slept on come this season because obviously he ripped Chelsea to bits in pre-season, absolutely tore them to shreds against a decent Chelsea team. And when he comes in, I think he'll be a player that we'll see go into a top 4 team very, very quickly, and Brighton will cash in on him big time next summer. I think because he's going to be if he hits the ground running like he should, he's going to be something special.
Yeah, maybe. I think that they are a selling club is a problem with Brighton, and they won't keep hold of anyone. But I don't know. I think it's too early to tell, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
it's still too early to say.
Team away, isn't they? So there's nothing to shout about beating United.
United are just no, they continue to be United, and everybody keeps saying this, that, and the other, the signings and this. I'm bored of it, man. I'm telling you, it's the manager, it's the system. I'm telling you. Yeah. There's no way that you play that way as often as you have for this period of time and it not be the manager. Yeah. I'm sorry. They are playing a specific way, and the way that they play just exposes them to get beat. Unless they're dominating teams or having a really good day, then they get turned over. There's no in between. With City or the big teams, when they're off having an off day, they're still the hard teams to beat.
Yeah, I think that's what bothers me about United is that you watch them and you think if they had their best 11 fit every week, they'd challenge for maybe the European spots, the kind of Champions League, Europa League. But they seem to sign players that are just half broken in them, and they do get a player in the door. Again, Mason Mount lasted 45 minutes this week. What is going on there? There must be something institutionally wrong in the back of not just the manager, the coach and the staff. There's got to be something going wrong because every player they bring in, and like, be interested what happens with De Ligt. That guy was never injured at Ajax, very rarely injured at Bayern or Juve. So if he comes into United, it's still a relatively young age for a centre half. If De Ligt gets injured and like doesn't play many games a season, like doesn't get at least 28, 29, 30 games a season, you've got to be asking questions about what's going on deeper. Obviously, now I've got Dan Ashworth, whatever his name is, as director of football. I think things will change this summer, but after this season. But it's weird because every year you're like, oh, they'll kick on this year, and this year again they don't know they will. Like it's not frustrating. It's just a little bit like, is it ever going to happen? You know what I mean?
I don't think it'll change under this regime. I've been saying it for years. Ten Hag is a clown. He shouldn't be in that job. Every time he comes out for a loss, he makes an excuse. Like, that's not like, you watch Pep when he comes out when they've had a loss. He's like, we weren't good enough. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. And he's talking about themselves. Whereas like he's always bringing excuses into it. And it's like, come on, man. Like, there's only so many excuses you can use. Like, you've been awful.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Like, they need someone with some sort of clear identity they're gonna bring a clear identity to Man United, and they need to commit to that identity and then bring the players in to suit that. At the minute, I don't feel like they have an identity. I don't even know Ten Hag knows what style of football he wants to play.
Yeah, he seems to be hanging on, and he seems to get that cup win, doesn't he? And then stays on every season. Like, he just seems to save himself. And I don't think United, that team, like that's what you kind of expect from like a Chelsea or a Spurs or kind of someone that's almost on the edge and not quite there. Like years gone by, like Liverpool got laughed at for that sort of thing. They'd have a manager, he wasn't really doing it. He'd win an FA Cup or a League Cup, and they'd be like, oh, next year, like. He's got to think, when is it going to change, like, on a mass scale for United? Like, they've got new owners, still hasn't happened. They've got Dan Ashworth in the building, still hasn't happened. They've signed 3 or 4 kind of players that have won Champions Leagues in the last 3 or 4 years and won league titles, cups, and all sorts. And again, it's still not changed. Like, it's got to be Ten Hag next, doesn't it? Like, he can't last another season if it's another season of mediocrity and little wins.
He's got to go, man. I mean, they play football like they play in basketball, don't they? Everybody runs forward, everybody runs back, and it's like watching under nines. It's like where's like it in football now? Like it or hate it, it's very, very structured. Elite level football is all about structure. Like, Man City got like we score the most goals, like us and Arsenal, and we are probably the 2 most rigid teams. We don't look it, but like, if you watch us week in, week out, we're the most rigid teams. Like, we just have this system. Everybody knows what they're doing, and they do it.
Yeah, definitely. No, you are right.
Even the lower league teams are like that. They know the system. They have a system. They play the system, and that's their way to try and win. And like, I don't know what United are doing. That's the problem, isn't it? I don't think they know what they're doing. So no matter what players you bring in, they don't know what they're doing.
No, you're not wrong as well. I'm just going to put up the stats. Obviously, we said about how football's all structured and stuff now. My phone's probably going to make my mic go mental for a minute. But I was looking at the stats today as being like the kind of key and being for football that I am. And normally we see like, top of the passing stats for a league for the first kind of couple of weeks. We got like, Spurs are up there. Obviously City are at the top, and you got the Brightons, kind of Liverpool's, that's like all at the top. And like, you always see like the kind of new teams not passing. And I was looking at the passing stats, I was talking to some friends about it, kind of saying like what the new teams have been like, and kind of how results have almost gone as expected. Like, if you look at the league table, I'd probably be like, yeah, that's how I expect it to go. And kind of there's a few surprises in there, but not many. But I was looking at obviously Villa this season. They've kind of seemed to, obviously they've got a lot of games to play this year, granted, Villa, but they've got only 723 completed passes in 2 games. And then Ipswich obviously down the bottom, Everton down there, obviously, Leicester and whatnot. The team with the most passes this season so far, and it'll probably surprise you, because you've got Liverpool 4th, Spurs in 3rd, City in 2nd, and in 1st place with 15 more passes than City is Southampton. And like you say, with the structure, like I think that's massive for a team like Southampton to come in. Like, yes, they're not winning games yet, but they have kicked the ball around a lot better than, obviously it's a Russell Martin team, that's what he does, but it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be fair to him.
Yes. However, you've got to consider the opposition they're playing as well.
Yeah,
so Villa have got
Southampton have played so far.
Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle.
Mm.
So they've not played teams that are going to dominate the ball anyway. So that's probably why they're at where they're at. Whereas Aston Villa playing against Arsenal, you're not going to get a lot of the ball.
No, true
I
enough.
don't know who else. I don't know who else Aston Villa plays, but it's all context and relative in it. So like, who did Aston Villa play before Arsenal? West Ham. So
You spent a bit more maybe, but obviously West Ham were under a new manager, weren't they? And under a bit of a kickstart.
Yeah, and they got over the line in that game. So you got to manage you got to look at the context of the fixtures as well, like, and who they play. And like City's first game was against Chelsea, so that was a bit more of a tight affair as well. But then obviously against Ipswich, they've had a lot of the ball and moved around a lot. So it's context, a lot of it.
The next couple of games for a team like Southampton will be quite interesting because obviously they've got Brighton, they've got Brentford up next, and Brentford haven't had a great start. They looked a little bit hit and miss today. They obviously got beat by Liverpool. They looked okay in the first game, but then Southampton have got them next. That's a good chance to get some points, and then they have United in the next week after that. And you think like if Southampton got hit United while they're down, we're just saying how bad United are playing. United are going to almost need to win that game against Southampton, which is mental. And Southampton are almost going to go into that game like with less pressure. But like I say, the season's been as expected so far. But I think we're going to have a look at how many goals have been scored already. I think it's going to be one of them seasons where a lot happens.
Yeah, I think so. We'll see. I don't like to judge too early. I think it's just too early to tell. Teams are still settling in and bedding in, especially after like a lot of the internationals have been away and stuff for the Euros. I think it's going to take a little while just for everything to settle down and just to be balanced.
Yeah, I think we got an international break soon. So I think there's like only one more game now until like mid-September, or is it Cup next? I think we've got to be coming to some sort of either Cup or international break soon. So I'm pretty sure there's only one game until like the 14th of September, which is a bit of a shame because it kind of the season gets going, then it stops almost straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but it's just the way it works, isn't it? It's so congested, the fixtures. It's just must be rough for the players, like, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you play for Chelsea.
I imagine it's going to have to be a cup game or something like that, isn't it? Because I don't think I can't think of any internationals coming up, but there must be some sort of cup or something like that. But then it's like like I say, the season just gets going, then it stops. But like obviously, League One and League Two will carry on for people that support clubs down there, like I do. But yeah, it's very stop-start, and like next week's fixtures, it's not. I'm looking at the games now to see if there's anything to get excited about and talk about for next week. But all the games seem like just meh a little bit, just like nothing too exciting apart from obviously like on Super Sunday you got United versus Liverpool, which is already a massive game for United because they lose that and they're on like 3 points, something like that. 3 points of three games would be a nightmare start, really, wouldn't
it? Not ideal.
I like it. That's always a good game though. Liverpool United historically, even like growing up, like my generation, kind of your generation, and kind of the kids like that now kind of be start coming to football, like the youngest ones now. Like that's always been one of them games. It's always got a bit. It's always going to have needle because of where they are in the world. But I think like they just seem to be in that same transitional period. I think it's going to be a very telling game for Slot because obviously again they looked okay today, but not amazing. It just looks solid enough. So yeah, it's going to be. I think game week 3 and 4 is where teams start to set their stall out for the season. Really, after game week 4, you can get an idea, don't you?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm biding my time. I'm reserving judgment. See what happens. See how teams develop.
So looking slightly more kind of down the leagues. MK have got their first win on the board. We are finally on the win column. We took a 3-0 win against Carlisle, and for those of you who haven't seen it yet, our second goal was a thing of beauty. Yes, it's in League 2, but the passing football was exquisite. To be fair, we've had a hell of a goal. That second, I think it was like a second or third goal, but it's nice to be able to have a team win because I was watching it on the telly or the highlights, and this thing like obviously you guys don't have the same stress in the Premier League. You kind of know what you're going to expect, but obviously we lost to 2 very average teams, and we beat a team like Carlisle who are decent. So like it's good to be on the board. You know what I mean? Like because I was starting to worry. Like in the last episode, I said we'd lost the game that I come back from, and then we lost the one after that, and then we got hammered in the cup as well, like 4 or 5-0. And I was thinking, no, like these new owners are going to come in and get pretty smelly pretty quick.
It can get smelly real quick, can't it? Need some momentum, doesn't you?
Yeah, we're gonna kick on now, but yeah, it's interesting for sure. But yeah, two very different worlds of football. You know, it happens so quick, doesn't it? At the start of the season, around, we're almost in September already, and you think, crikey, like 5 days to the end of the window, 6 days to the end of the window, and it's getting tight, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's gonna be many big moves now, like transfer wise, because a lot of the big moves that have been talked about trying to transfer window, like Osimhen going to Chelsea, and that have all kind of died. I think Mikel Merino will obviously goes to Arsenal, but that's about it really now, isn't it? Like, there's not really anything to expect, and any kind of there's no really unexpected things to happen next week, I don't think.
No. Everybody's plans their transfers and everything out like well in advance, don't they? So there's nothing major going to happen now. I don't think there might be one or two movers or shakers, but nothing major at all. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the football. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon anytime soon on that. We'll just wait and see, I guess. Well, how's your videos coming along? Are you doing videos?
I have not done any, to be fair, since we last spoke. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to get back on it. I haven't. I had a bit of a
shocking,
bit of a lull with it, really. Like, you know what I'm like? I can't commit to something, and then it dies off, and I go back to it a little while after. But I've had a chat with the guys who do the meds this week, and we've gone from 70 milligrams down to 60 with the boosters I had before, and obviously then I've got some 50s as well to try. So we're going to go back down the meds. I think I was kind of almost over medicated, like the stimulus almost too high that it go into my system. I'd have like a really good couple of hours, and then it'd almost be like too much, and my body just wasn't reacting like it should have done to the 70. So we've gone back down to 60, which seems early doors seems better. Like mental health seems more kind of stable, and we seem kind of more positive, and like I'm not getting overstimulated and over kind of. I was almost concentrating too much. Like I become too zoned in, and I'd kind of every little thing would have to be perfect, otherwise I wasn't getting through it. So the high focus almost kind of took over. So yeah, I need to make some more videos because things have got a little bit better. To be fair, my last two were quite negative, quite downbeat, but we're on the up.
Good. That's what it needs. Need to get you back doing it.
Yeah, I have been slacking for it because I was enjoying doing it, and I was starting to get some traction. To be fair, so I think last we spoke, I was heading to 1,000 followers, and now like I'm over that point now, and then that's where it starts to grow, starts to get a bit of traction quite quickly. Like, you know, I've had people kind of say to me, "Oh, I've seen this and seen that," and they don't follow me. They're just seeing it on their For You page, and it's quite nice. But I've completely not lost motivation with it. Just the day seemed to just run away with me. Like I get so focused on something that I just run out of time. I kind of go, I'm going to do this today. It wouldn't happen. So hopefully the new tablets will suit me better. I've done a week of the 60s now, and I feel better. And I'll go down to the 50s tomorrow. So we'll see how that happens. But obviously there is a massive medication shortage again nationally now, where like there's so many people I can think of in kind of live in major towns and major cities that just can't get the meds, and it's just it's not good times really for like people that need to have these meds because they're important. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like we spoke about it before. I think on the first or second pod, where like if your lad doesn't have them, it's bad news. Like, you know, they are really important. So yeah, it's like, you know, you're always thinking, oh, is this going to be the last batch I can get for a certain amount of time? So it's a bit worrying.
Yeah, but I'm sure that'll resolve itself at some point. Just got to make some more, haven't they? Surely.
Yeah, how hard can it be? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know how affected it is by like before you blame on Brexit or whatever, but we're so far gone from that now. Surely that, like, you know, like you say, they can just make more. Like, I don't know if it's a very naive front to have of it, but yeah, there shouldn't be this many people that are struggling to get on them, and it's just making the pathway extend as well. Like, you know, the wait lists are getting longer and longer and longer, and even the right to choose now is like, you know, getting ridiculously long. And like a friend of mine went to go to the doctors the other day to ask about right to choose, and their doctor, which was just shocking, turned around and said, "I don't know what right to choose is," and that was like, I was like, "What? Like, how are you now pretending it doesn't exist?" Like, the doctor should surely know about that. It's not like it's just an ADHD thing. And like, yeah, like people just getting told no, which is just mad, really, because like, you know, it's almost like especially in women, like an epidemic of people that need to be diagnosed that aren't to get the support. And then once they realise, it's almost like that glass shatter moment. It's quite like when people who've got ADHD realise they've got it, it becomes even more debilitating because you kind of notice it in yourself, and the anxiety that's linked to ADHD and kind of that kind of overwhelm and overstress becomes so much more poignant in your life. So yeah, like I get stressed about it because I'm like obviously still going through the process, but I just don't want to get to like the end of that private bit and then be like on the NHS and be like, shit, I've not got anything now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll all work out and they'll get that squared away for you. But yeah, it can't be nice. Can't be nice. It's probably harder as well once you've had the meds and then if you can't get any, you're off them for a bit, and then it's like, well, that was a pointless little trial.
Yeah, I had like one day recently without them because they said like when I had my review last time, they're like maybe try a day every now and then without on your rest days. So I kind of like your days off from work just to see how you get on. I had one without, and literally like it was almost like everything that had been like contained over the last few days just kind of hit me. Like I had just a shambles of a day. Like I didn't get up, couldn't motivate myself, sat there just not doing much, getting that kind of ADHD paralysis, and it was laughable to be fair. But I should have recorded some stuff because I was like, oh, this would be a really good thing to record because I'm not on my tablets for a day, and it'd be like a true accurate what it's like. And did I record? Did I ever get up and do it? Did I? Hell, I just didn't do anything. Which is a shame really because it like we spoke about before, and that's where the content's at when it's real, and just couldn't bring myself to even open my phone, let alone record myself. So it's a shame really because like it wasn't a good day. And I don't want to put myself in that situation too often, but it would have been good content, and a good way to get back into it really. But never mind.
Yeah, it's but I'm sure it'll work out. I'm sure it'll work out, and you'll get to a point where you can film these things, and like you a bit more consistent with it. It's easier said than done, I suppose, but I'm sure you'll get to that point. It's not much. There's not much else going on my side either. I've just been laying down for a week, so I can't really. Not really seen outside my four walls.
Happened, is there? Yeah.
No, there's not much movement my side.
Yeah, obviously we were talking before we came on to the podcast about the kind of trending stuff. Obviously, it's still kind of football-ish related. So we're not going back to it. Have you seen that new the lad that seems to know all the information, the There We Land lad?
No.
So he's like this lad. He's like, if you stick it on whilst I'm talking about it, stick it on TikTok on share screen. So it's basically this lad, and he's called like Whisper something. But if you put in There We Land on TikTok or literally anything at the moment, it's like he almost seems to know stuff before Fabrizio does. So like he's been announcing stuff on TikTok before the transfer happens. Like, and like he must be like, I don't know, like not very. He can't be very old. He must got to be like teenage years. And he's literally like seems to have this in, and like clubs are now using it when they sign a player. So like I think it was Brighton the other day signed someone, and they like tweeted saying There We Land, and obviously Fabrizio's always been like used, and now he's in a lot of FIFA games and stuff this year. And I can't remember what his thing is, even though he says when it happens. But this lad's like stole the headlines, which is like almost like I just don't know how he's done it. Basically, I've got no idea how this lad who's not very old and records it on like what looks like a potato. I don't know how this lad's got this information, but it's crazy. Like he's got like, I mean, TikTok already took his channel down once, and now he's on like he's got to be on like 8 million followers again.
They do that. They are very, very weird with what they control.
Yeah, it's bizarre, really. Obviously, he must be getting this information from somewhere. I don't know where he's getting it, but yeah, it's mental.
Don't know how I did that. Yeah, no, I can't find him on it. I've had a quick look, and whenever I pull TikTok up, it just shouts at me. So, I'll keep an eye out.
I'll have to send you some because it's just it's mental to be honest. Like, it's just mental. Like, I think I've seen probably the last 2 or 3 big transfer stories have come from him. I'm just like, you think like, if everyone's like, everyone could stand here and kind of go, oh, that's going to happen, then it does. But it's just been seen to be so accurate and so consistent already. I think like the last 6, 7 have all happened. So watch this space on that one. It's quite an interesting one to be fair. And he's probably like turned himself into a bit of a meme because clubs are just using to kind of get in the bandwagon. I can't imagine he'll last for long. He'll be one of them kind of probably one and done window, and he'll live off that 15 minutes of time for a while. But interesting bit of popular culture.
Yeah, fair one. Yeah. No, but what else have we going on with you then? Because I've just been lying there watching films. I'm having a bit of a Denzel marathon. Just watch.
Denzel, what have you been watching?
I missed it. It's still on at the minute now. Flight, put that on. Watched The Equalizer yesterday.
Solid film, man.
Yeah, well, Equalizer and then Equalizer 2. You know, got to watch them all.
Marathon, you know, all of them.
But yeah, love Denzel, love him.
I've had Jess watching the
yeah.
Deadpool films because she's never seen them. So we sat there watching the kind of films and stuff. And we're like, oh, should we go to the cinema this week and go watch the new Deadpool Wolverine film? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, but who's Deadpool? And I was like, what? Like, she loves Ryan Reynolds as well. She's a massive Ryan Reynolds fan. And I could not. And she's seen all the kind of DC and Marvel films. She's quite well versed in. Just hasn't seen Deadpool. Like, it's gone completely over her head. And she's like, oh, is it like, a superhero film? And I was like, well, it is. Obviously, he's kind of like almost like an anti-hero. He's like a weird he kind of crosses that line a little bit, then he kind of plays jumper over the line of hero versus villain kind of thing. Really, he's quite a weird bloke. And she hadn't seen it, and she didn't get the story. She didn't get like kind of obviously how he like breaks the fourth wall. Obviously, that's not what Marvel and DC is about. It's all about like this is comic, this is character. Character saves the day. Character's the hero, does no wrong. And this is like a complete shift, isn't it?
Yeah,
so we've been enjoying them.
I love how they do it.
Yeah, it's
love how they do it. To be fair, how they do
I'm
that.
I'm not a big superhero fan, and I love the Deadpool films. I think their quality, just the comedy of it, it's just so.
I like it, to be fair. I like them all, to be fair. I'd be lying if I just said I didn't like them all, but like I don't like the new Batman. That's not for me.
Yeah,
not for me. I grew up on proper Batman.
Film and TV are always my lack of knowledge areas, to be fair. When it comes to like a pub quiz, I'll be like, sport, I'm like there. Music, I'm like, decent enough. Current affairs, I'm pretty useful. Kind of like health and stuff, I'm normally there. But when it comes to like the film around, I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to check out here because I'm this useless. I'll be wearing my rounding at the pub because I'm not a TV film guy usually, but I keep up with the popular stuff, like when the new James Bond film comes out, I try and keep up with them and that sort of stuff. But I really struggle with I think it might be like a generational thing because I feel like I don't know, I'm just not that into films.
You're not seen the new Batman?
No, I couldn't even tell you what happened in the last 2 or 3. I think Batman's probably one of them ones. I've seen all the memes and stuff that come out of it because I kind of keep up with obviously social media and especially TikTok and Twitter and that, and obviously like the kind of like always like I'm Batman. And obviously I've seen the Lego ones, top tier film, but I've not seen any of the
you're better off
Batman films really.
You're better off the Lego ones. Better off with the Lego ones.
Yeah, so it's more my speed, to be fair.
I mean, the film's okay. It's just the casting I have an issue with, I suppose. But...
yeah, I have to watch them and give my review. Someone that doesn't watch them.
Yeah, it's the guy from Twilight. You've seen Twilight? I bet you've seen Twilight.
Yeah, I've seen that shit before.
Yeah, it's him, and he's just like, I don't know. He's just like almost a moody teenager when Batman's supposed to be somebody who's broken by life, hardened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Proper. And he's a multi-billionaire, so he has a bit of class and that kind of stuff. And it's none of that in this one. He's just like a moody teenager, basically, who's sad.
Brilliant. Sounds like a really solid bit of casting there.
I mean, it just doesn't do it for me because I don't feel like that's a motivation. Like an angry, moody teenager is not enough motivation to go and do the things he does. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's I mean, I don't know a lot about Batman, but I know he's pretty cutthroat and gets involved in some pretty serious stuff. So, yeah, casting someone from Twilight probably isn't the one, but it probably gets it probably hits their like kind of a new demographic that they don't usually hit. To be fair, like they're kind of struggling in a certain type of audience, and getting him along probably works.
Yeah, probably. I just feel like they needed a bit more grit, but what can you
do? I mean, the biggest TV news of the week is obviously Ted Lasso coming back. Obviously, we spoke about it away from the podcast, and that is, for me, one of the best TV shows of this current era of kind of Apple TV and kind of like subscription services. I think you'll really, really struggle to find a TV show that's so captivating for multiple audiences. Like, if you're a football fan, you love it. If you're kind of like, you kind of like the kind of guys that got involved with it behind the scenes, they've got their own a lot of shows over in America and stuff that they've done before. The guys that play Roy Kennett and Ted, obviously they're quite heavily into producing and whatnot and writing and that sort of stuff. And if you like kind of like your kind of comedy kind of point of view kind of shows, and again it's perfect. Like, it's such a good program. It's such clever like comedy and kind kind of that sort of stuff. Like it's got all of it in it, isn't it? Like it hits all the target demographics that you want.
Yeah. Yeah, it's banging. Like it does hit everything, and like there's some like proper serious messages in there as well. In there, so it's a lot of time for it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's
I'm
one of them
looking
where
forward to
it comes
watching that.
back in. I hope they don't fuck it up, because it was so perfect before, and obviously he left at the end of the series, and like they're saying that Ted Lasso will be in Ted Lasso, and they're saying like he will be in it, and he's expected to get his role back and be there and be part of it. But you think like he left, and you almost don't want them to get it wrong, like because it was left on such a decent cliffhanger, and kind of decent you can almost make up the rest of the universe in your head. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with it, because I'm not sure how they can develop those characters any further and bring him back realistically. Like, I think they're probably better off if they're going to bring it back and kind of leave him and kind of go, you know what, Ted's done, and we kind of almost do it like AFC Richmond now. But he is like also the biggest. Like he is the comedy. He's the comedy relief in that, because he has all the serious messages, but he is by far the most central character, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's all about him, isn't it? Let's be honest. Like how he delivers it, and what he brings, and his attitude to life and stuff. So yeah. No, hopefully they'll do it justice. Hopefully they'll come back and they'll do it justice, and it'll be decent. Talking about comebacks, Oasis is coming back as well, I hear today. So that's
I mean that's
something
huge.
that's been a long time coming, to be honest.
If you're one of them kind of that likes kicking around with bucket hats at festivals and flares at football on a Saturday and having a fight with the police and making yourself a nuisance every Saturday from 1 till 6, this is your Christmas day, innit?
Don't be bitter, man. Don't be bitter. Nobody likes somebody being bitter about it.
I don't mind them.
Right?
They're following
Oasis are the one, man.
Sort of generation.
Oasis are the one. I grew up on Oasis. They're brilliant. Absolutely love them.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Be to see them a lot of times. I've got bucket hats. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you're that sort of guy. To be fair,
slack.
I mean, your appendix is acting like you're in your 20s, so maybe you can get away with it.
Yeah, reunite them. I don't know if they've got any tour dates or anything yet, though. But I think it's just been has it been announced?
I don't know. They literally brought out the news today, didn't they? So I don't know if they'll I don't know what the crack is. Whether they're going on tour, whether they're just bringing out a new album, then going on tour, like, or whether they're just doing the old shit, like because it's like one of them. Like their old music is so good, and both of their independent groups have done decent music and decent stuff, and obviously they've had some decent solo careers, but they'll never come quite close to.
They're the best together. Yeah, no, they're the best together because they balance each other so nicely. I think it works really well. So they're rumored to be uniting for summer tour dates next year, including Glastonbury.
Ooh, it's Glasgow's last year.
That's put the Radio X,
didn't they? Radio X are normally pretty on it, to be fair. So that's Glasgow. They said, didn't they? I'm pretty sure I saw it on their website. It might be on there still now. That they had some massive plan for this year, and they were hinting at a comeback of some description of some artist, and people obviously were going, "Oh, imagine if it was Oasis," almost like tongue in cheek, and it actually is. And I'm not a massive Oasis fan. Like obviously, I know the big songs, and like they're quite popular in football culture as a band and as a group. But yeah, I mean, I'll be there when it comes out, no doubt. And the tickets will probably be hundreds and hundreds of pounds. It made Taylor Swift's tour look very cheap. Like
yeah, we'll get you educated on them. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll
Need to be.
I'll be wearing a bucket hat and sniffing lemons before you know it.
A lot of time for it.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, there's been a lot of like random comebacks this month. Like, obviously, like those sort of that are into that sort of line of music. Everyone is kind of a more heavy, but has quite similar fan bases. Everyone and Jerry Cinnamon, they're both allegedly bringing about new music. And obviously, there's been Rizzle Kicks, who were like the start of the kind of trumpet in music era, and they were very big when I was kind of late teenage years. So there's a lot of like comebacks from my late teenage years that are kind of throwing themselves quite forward at the moment.
Inflation, see, they need the money.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, I'll be absolutely there. I'll sit giving people who listen to Oasis shit. I'll definitely be there for the Rizzle Kicks tour when it comes out. And I'll be there probably being.
I mean, they're not comparable. They're not comparable, mate. Like,
oh, no,
they're not
no,
anywhere near the same. No.
But I give people. I've got basically got no leg to stand on. Is what I'm saying. Like I'm giving people who like Oasis shit, and Rizzle is one of the cringiest bands out, but they just get it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair one.
It's
Fair
a
one.
good time
Whatever
to
floats
be-
your boat and all that. You know what I mean?
It's a good time to be a lad in your mid-20s and or someone who's just lost their appendix and body thinks they're in their mid-20s because like Oasis is back, Rizzle back, Ted Lasso's coming back, a Deadpool film. It could be
City top of the
better,
league.
City top of the league.
That's
The only
perfect.
thing we need now
The
is
star-
like,
The stars are aligning.
yeah. I mean, we would need like something like classic now. Like I don't know, just Barack Obama to come back and start like leading the US, and when we're back, absolutely fucking having it. I've also just had my headphones die as well, so we're now having to go raw mics on the computer, which isn't ideal.
No, I can tell there's a lot of echo
I will have to try and count my other ones. I'll mute myself.
and delay. Well, we'll shut it down there anyway, because to be honest, I'm struggling sat here. I need to go and lie down. So we'll shut it down for now. We've had a whirl, and we'll have another one soon.
Yeah, man, love it. Rest up, and we will be back
Alright.
for some more shits and gigs soon.
No worries. Peace.
Thanks again for being part of this journey. Stay tuned. We've got even more great conversations coming your way.